Welcome to another episode of Job and Essentials. In this episode, we'll be talking about how to build a personal brand for yourself. In the previous episode, we talked about why personal branding really matters for the job hunt. In this episode, we'll be talking about how to do that. And for that, first we'll talk about what you really hope to achieve through this branding exercise. Uh, Usually, in this particular series, we're talking about how to get a job through branding, which is mostly a short term thing. You're trying to achieve that within the next hopefully within the next few months. And branding can also help you work towards getting promoted to work, taking on more bigger responsibilities, or working towards a career switch, like say moving from say software engineering to product management or something more different. And these are a bit more medium to long term goals, and these are various uh, objectives that you could potentially achieve by working on your personal branding message. For this particular video, let's stick to the short term goal of getting a job. So getting a job, like what your branding is trying to achieve, it's trying to really try to uh, signal to the reader about your technical skills that are useful for working success in your particular job that you're applying for. And also it could be your leadership skills that is essential for your success. And technical skills could be a bit more deeper, diving into good system design, and expertise in a particular domain that you're applying for, and also coding skills. Now these are various skills and qualities that you're trying to advertise as your key attributes and your strong suit. You're trying to showcase your reader as the things that they want you to be perceived as. So how can you signal these qualities to the reader? I would I would break them down into two types of evidences. One is quantifiable, which can be measured and standardized across multiple candidates, and then subjective evidences, which might be unique but yet give a very strong signal of how good a particular quality of you is about. Let's dive a little deeper. So, in quantifiable evidences, it could be test scores. Let's say you studied in university, your GPA, your your scores in particular subjects could be a good signal. It could be publications, the impact, the quality of the publications you made in a particular domain, or certifications. This could be say something about a Coursera or a Udacity or some kind of a MOOC course that you've taken to demonstrate interest and depth of knowledge in particular domain. And of course the work experience, say the kind of company, the kind of job profile, that can definitely speak a lot about if you have worked in a particular domain for X number of years, then that definitely speaks for your quality of expertise in a particular area. And when it comes to subjective evidences, this again further strengthens your qualities and also helps provide signals or evidences for more subjective qualities. Say, let's say communication skills or leadership. So giving a talk can give you a good signal about communication, and also shows a lot of strength in your domain expertise. It could also be testimonials from your peers and your supervisors. Let's say LinkedIn has this space for your colleagues to give testimonials for you, and that's a good space to showcase your soft skills that are not very directly measurable through various quantifiable evidences. And next comes open source contributions. This could be say working on a open source project, or answering questions, let's say in Stack Overflow, on areas that you think you have a good domain knowledge. And similarly, thought leadership is another domain that is starting to get a lot of attention. This could be basically writing articles or contributing to articles where you believe you have a strong technical expertise. And this definitely sends a strong signal of the areas that you believe you have a strong control over, and also helps the reader understand where your expertise lies and the depth of your knowledge, without even reading into a lot of core details. And once you have understood what you want to advertise and what are the various evidences you're going to be showing, next comes advertising your evidences in an appropriate manner. Uh, when it comes to advertising coding based skills, it could be like using GitHub where you're showcasing your code project work, and also it could be like working on HackerRank where there are a lot of open challenges where you could work on those things and like demonstrate your strong coding abilities. And then when it comes to domain expertise, you could also consider like working on publications, and your Google Scholar account could be a good area to showcase the different types of publications you have made, the impact of your publications and the citations. And also you could think about like just giving a talk in like a different university, or even just give a talk and publish it in YouTube, just the way I'm doing it right now. And that can again show a good uh, that can give a good signal about like a lot of your domain expertise and interests. And then next comes thought leadership. This is another area that I'm starting to see catching up of late, where people tend to work on demonstrating their knowledge, and of course, like not just like showing it off, but also like showcasing it and crystallizing the knowledge in a useful manner for also the readers through writing articles in Medium post or Substack. And finally, this is a well-known thing. Like again, I believe I've learned a lot through MOOCs and certification courses uh, on par with my master's program or my undergraduate. And there's a lot of content here. And working on these certifications through Coursera or HBX Harvard, these things can also give you a very good this can improve your skill sets, and working on the certifications also provides a clear signal of you being an expert in a particular domain and helps you set the brand message appropriately. Action. And finally, the most important section of all, the LinkedIn and personal homepage. Now, these are very effective platforms that have been there for a very long time and are like quite essential in the job hunting phase. These are the platforms where you can showcase, like, compile all your evidences together and put forth a proper band message together as a single unified message across these platforms. And of course, LinkedIn is quite famous by now and quite extensively used by a lot of job seekers right now. But I also want to like grab your attention to another portal, which is the personal homepage, which could be built using WordPress, Wix, and several other simple softwares out there. And that gives you way more flexibility than LinkedIn to showcase the projects and your brand the right way that you intend to have it. So, for those of you who believe that you have enough content that you believe you can show a better message than a standardized template that LinkedIn offers, I would strongly recommend you to consider building a personal homepage and use that to showcase your work and the qualities in a better manner. And some tips and tricks to keep in mind is first is uh, now like we saw several platforms to showcase several qualities of a person, right? As much as these gives you different avenues, I think it's important to think about what's the uh, brand that you want to like showcase, and what are the subset of messages that you want the reader to take about. Like throwing in various messages across various platforms might start being confusing, and the ultimate goal gets lost by dumping too much information at the reader. So think about like how can you provide a consistent unified message across multiple platforms. It could be, let's say, I'm a software engineer who's a good Python developer and with expertise in ML, and that's it. And that's my one single message that I want to consistently keep, like advertising across multiple platforms. And the next thing is this is mostly for software engineers. Uh, Although it's very important to showcase your code in GitHub, and of course, like as an interviewer, I definitely go look at the GitHub profiles to see like the kind of code quality that the user uses. Uh, in addition to showcasing your coding work, it's also important to make sure that your projects are easy to consume and easy to understand. This could be by, say, adding a technical report or some slides or something, or demo links to help the reader quickly understand what this project is all about. And then when it comes to soft skills, which are much harder to demonstrate through evidences, uh, feel free to like solicit testimonials and and feedback from your peers and supervisors that you can like showcase in LinkedIn. These kind of like testimonials give a human touch to the brand that you're trying to build, and also make it more trustworthy depending on the kind of person who's watching for you on your skill sets. And finally, there are a lot of very good technical articles and technical discussions going on the internet, like in Substack, in Medium, in Twitter, and so on. Uh, and pick and choose the areas that you believe you're a technical expert, and see how you can make meaningful contributions in these areas. This could be by creating new articles or participating in discussions where you can add your opinions on different technical directions and areas together. These things can definitely set you apart from other folks in terms of building a brand as a professional player in this job market. And while all these are like interesting things to keep in mind, I believe branding is a continuous process. It's not a thing that you do once and like be done for all, because it's not something that even like big companies have really figured it out and like set in stone forever. It's an evolving process. So think about like the kind of brand you want to build, and like see if you can keep working on the evidences to boost the trustworthiness of the brand. This could be like identifying the gaps in say certifications, in terms of like building your online visibility and presence. See if you can like build more evidences to boost your brand visibility and brand awareness. And of course, your professional goals also keep changing with time. Let's say you are like checking out this video for the sake of like job hunting, but once your job hunt is over, maybe your goals might change differently to say to working towards a promotion or a different career switch. And still brand building a professional brand is going to keep helping you there, but maybe you might have to like rework on your messaging and the kind of evidences. So like this is an evolving process, and you need to keep working together on it. And then, uh, although building a brand is important, also think about like what you really represent, right? It's important to make sure that you are portraying something that is very truthful and genuine about you, because like this can quickly go downside the moment you start portraying something that who you truly are not, and that really defeats the purpose of this whole branding exercise. So think long and deep into like the kind of message you want to portray and the kind of person you who you truly are, and try to build your brand that aligns with your true values. And of course, no one can like build this by themselves. It needs to be a continuous process where it needs to have feedback from a lot of people, by either like presenting in front of them and seeing the kind of feedback that you get, which is more direct and also subtle, because you will see the kind of cues that people pick from the kind of signals that you're portraying through all these branding exercises, and iterate based on that to make sure the brand message that you have meets the kind of expectation that you are aiming for. I hope you found this video useful, and I hope this encourages you to start working on your personal branding. In the next episode, we'll be talking about like how to work on coding interviews and like system design interviews. I'll be sharing some of my tips and tricks that worked out well for me. Thank you so much for your time. Hoping to meet you in another new episode. Thank you.